See, a lot of cats think with their brains, not with their brain. Come on, man. Fuck with me, I'll drop $1 million on your head. Race you and your whole family. Biatch.
So episode 2, we start off with Pac getting shot at Quad Studio. If you don't know the story, Biggie and Puff, Lil C's, was at the studio working on records, and they invited Pac to come over. And I think one of Puff's mans was like beeping Pac heavily, like heavy, like, when you gonna be here? We gonna be here? Pac was like, damn, I'll be over there. And before he could even get to the floor, these two random dudes wound up shooting Pac, robbing him. Like, actually, I don't even know if they even robbed him. They just shot him. Because they had like, Pac had like this $50,000 chain or something like that. They didn't even take that. They just shot him and left. And it was from that point to where Pac believed, oh, Biggie and Puff just set me up. From that day forward, Pac was like, oh yeah, Biggie and Pac set me up. Or Biggie and Puff set me up. Which, I don't know how you do not think that. Again, they did not rob Pac. They shot him. It's like, if you're Pac, how do you not think that it's not a setup? Who else knew you was going to be there outside of Big, Puff, and their people? So we start off with that. Then we go to Kirk Burroughs, who was one of the guys that founded Bad Boy. He had actually had 25% of the label or stock in Bad Boy. And he tells the story of randomly Puff beeping him to come to the office, and Puff is getting hit. And Kirk, who's the guy that he's like, I forget what was his job. He was kind of like the guy that like really did everything at Bad Boy. Like, he handled the money, he handled a lot of things. But he walks in and Puff is just getting hit. And so then the girl leaves, and the Kirk dude, he's like, did you want me? Like, what's up? And Puff was like, oh, I didn't need nothing. It's all a power move. Just to show your power, to show how much, like, I'm really him. Like, there's nothing nobody can do. Like, just to show off, like, yeah, like, I was able to get head in my office. Like, it's just like crazy stuff. And then that same dude, the guy who helped him start Bad Boy, Puff, he tells another story. Puff walking in with a bat and with his Kirk stock, and basically telling him, I need you to sign off your 25% of the company. I got a deal I got to do, so I'm going to need you to do that with a bat. And Kirk was like, I didn't know what to do, so I just signed off my stake in the company. And Puff was like, I'm going to give it back. Just, of course he never gave it back. Kirk did eventually try to sue like years later, but it was too late. It was like I think he tried to sue like a decade and a half later. It was like, it's too late. Nothing we can do about that. It's just crazy. Like, that's how we started off, right? Puff, that's how Puff treats his own people, right? Meanwhile, Bad Boy by like 94, bro, it's the biggest thing smoking. You got Faith, you got Biggie, Total, Craig Mack, everybody got a platinum record, everybody's popping, but they ain't making no money though, right? We know how this story is a common story. The label's robbing the artists, they're only giving them advance. Meanwhile, they're giving them an advance. They're making them pay for studio time, music videos, all that stuff. So Craig Mack, who has a hot record flavoring your ear, ain't got no money to his name. His fiance or his wife got to beg her parents to help, pay bills. And Craig Mack is like, come on, man, like, I need some money. He's going to Puff like, yo, I need some money. His wife tells a story of Puff taking out this knot of money and takes $100 bill and gives it to Craig Mack. And like, Craig Mack was pissed. And Craig was like, you know what, I'm going to go to freaking death row. Which we go to that. And we go to how Suge was actually Suge Knight, who wound up being the boss of Death Row, was actually started out being the bodyguard of Al B. Shore, who was connected to Uptown, who was connected to Puff. And how Suge eventually learned the game of the music industry and played it off as if, oh, I'm for the artist, or for the artist, or for the artist, right? He creates Death Row. He has Dr. Dre, eventually gets Snoop, and now they out the gate. They send all these records and doing all these records. And of course, Puff don't like that because he's jealous. So now he's looking at Sugar a certain way, right? They were supposed to be cool, but now it's like, nah, I ain't with that. Which then we get to the Source Awards, the infamous Source Awards, August 95, where Suge throws his shot at Puff. You know, the infamous, if you don't want a A&R or record exec all in the videos, dancing, come to Death Row, right? And the crazy part is, every time you watch that clip, they were in New York, by the way. When you watch that clip, it was a delayed reaction by the crowd. The crowd was like, huh? And then you hear, boo. That's just crazy to me. Meanwhile, Snoop is just going like, yeah. And Puff, by the way, plays it cool. And Puff was like, I just want peace. Like, shout out to Suge and Dr. Dre and Death Row, and shout out to all the West Coast artists, East Coast artists. Like, he plays peacemaker, like he's Mr. Kumbaya, right? Meanwhile, he is like probably the most evil of evil motherfuckers. Like, he's the most evil, but he understands the media. He understands the narrative. He understands image. And so I'm going to play it off like I'm this innocent guy. I'm Mr., too cool for school. I'm Mr., I'm innocent. Like, I ain't no gangster. I'm just a playboy, right? Type image. Then we get to, I think this was 95 still. We get to 95, or we're still in 95, where Suge and his mans go to like this club where Puff is at. Somehow or another, Puff gets Suge and his homeboy to get escorted out the club by this off-duty officer. So then, randomly, this guy pops up with a hand behind his back and a gun, and is looking at, I think, Suge and Puff while he's shooting Suge's man, right? Like doing like that. And it's like, what? It's like, what's going on? So then Suge like puts Puff in a chokehold so that, and just in case the shooter tries to shoot Suge, well, you're going to shoot Puff before you shoot me. Puff is talking about, it's going to be fine, it's going to be cool, it's going to be cool. And Suge is like, it's going to be cool. Tell your moms it's going to be cool. Tell your family it's going to be cool. Tell your kids it's going to be cool. Ain't nothing cool, right? So Suge's mans gets shot like 5 times. 2 days later, he dies in the hospital. And they basically tell the story, that's how the East Coast, West Coast beef started. Right then and there. Because allegedly, that's what it looked like. Puff got some random dude to pull up and shoot Suge's mans. Meanwhile, around the same time, he was trying to take one of Suge's side chicks in Atlanta. Because we find out this is Puff's MO. He likes to take other people's girls, right? So meanwhile, Suge already knows this. And so he is already on Cypher, bro. Like Puff is having Kirk, again, his mans from Bad Boy, to take like $50,000 from the overhead at Bad Boy to buy this necklace to court Suge's side chick. It's like, bro, what? What is going on? So, yeah, that's kind of how the East Coast, West Coast beef start. Pac eventually goes to jail, but this was late 94. Pac goes to jail because of a rape charge. And meanwhile, while Pac is in jail, he's hearing all these things about Puff and Puff's people bragging about shooting Pac, right? Meanwhile, Suge goes to the jail to visit Pac, and that's how Pac gets to be a part of Death Row. which then leads to Hit 'Em Up, which then amplifies the East Coast, West Coast beef. Like, all this is just crazy, bro. All of this is crazy. And Puff is his damnness is trying to get big to say anything, right? And Biggie won't do it. I do not want to amplify it. Like, it's too much going on right now. Like, I only care about the music. But Puff is trying everything to get Biggie to retaliate. Which they do talk about Biggie doing Who Shot Ya, which I still don't understand why Biggie would have did that song, knowing everything that was going on at the time. That still doesn't make sense to me. But they talk about Death Row, trying to do at Death Row East. Pac is like, we're going to take over the game. You know, we done with all that bad boy bullshit. La, 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 la. And it's like, yo. Pac voice is so powerful, and Puff hated Pac. Like, he really did deep down hate Pac, man. Because Pac was everything he wanted to be. He had all the light, he had all the influence, he had all the power without having to manipulate. He just had the voice, man. He was the voice of the people, man. That's what Puff wanted. And plus, he's number one competition to Big, because he wanted Big to be the number one artist. So you got all that going on. Then we come to find out Puff is connected to the Crips. Southside Crips and like Mansfield Crips out in L.A. And he has someone who he said was like his uncle is actually one of the like kingpins of the Crips. It's like, yo, what? Meanwhile, Suge is part of like connected to the Bloods, all allegedly. And I'm like, bro, now we got Bloods versus Crips. But East Coast, West Coast, Blood versus Crips is like, there's no way nobody's gonna get it. There's gonna be some fatalities here. And so then we get to leading up to the Mike Tyson fight. One of Suge's mans or Pac's mans, part of Death Row, gets beat up. Someone tries to take the Death Row chain off of Pac's mans. Then we get to the Tyson fight, where Tyson has the fight. Only lasts a round. This is back when Mike Tyson was knocking people out in the first round. So now everybody's hype, everybody's amped. Pac's mans is like, yo, that's the dude that jumped me or whatever. And so now that's where we get the infamous hotel footage or whatever fight footage of Pac and his people stopping out this dude. Which that dude is Orlando Anderson, who is connected to the Crips, who is connected to Puff. So here's where it gets crazy. Come to find out, Pac and Suge riding around, Suge's blasting music crazy, gets pulled over by the police, where they just tell him, hey, can you keep the music down a little bit? While they're getting pulled over, Suge and Pac, girls are screaming, oh my God, Pac. Guys were looking for Pac, basically to kill him. Now, before we get to that, come to find out, according to Keefy D, if you don't know who Keefy D is, just look up Keefy D, who's basically a year before he gets arrested and admitting to killing Pac. He is like the uncle to Orlando Anderson, who is in Keefy D is connected with the Crips. And so before the Mike Tyson fight, he gets a call from Puff to where there's like a room full, I know, not a call, I think there was some type of party happened or something, where Puff and like 40 Crips are there. And Puff was like, yo, we gotta get Suge and Pac out of here, bruh. $1 million on their head. Again, this all allegedly. $1 million on their head if anybody can get them. Right? $1 million on their head. We gotta get them out of here. We gotta get them out the game. Right? He's telling this to a room full of Crips. I'm like, what? So, Keefy D, who's already pissed off because his nephew got jumped, and now he already has an incentive to kill Pac. And so they're riding around, him and his people riding around trying to find Pac, can't find him. But god dang it, Pac and Suge get pulled over. Girls screaming, "Oh my God, it's Pac!" They're like, "Boom, got him!" And eventually they get Pac. It's like, damn, like all this stuff had to happen. Like, bruh. Like all these things had to fall into place. And then Keefe D is talking about how he's trying to get his money. And meanwhile, Puff is on the phone, happy as hell. Like, yeah. Like boastful as hell. Like just happy as hell that Pac got killed. And Suge almost got killed. Like Keefe D was like, I don't know how Suge survived. Like I saw a bullet go through his head. I don't know how he did that. But yeah, like it was just so crazy and how, of course, the people, Keefe D never got his money. I think his man's, one of the kingpins of the Crips, they were going through him, and Keefe D never got his money, but they only got $500,000 because Pac died and not both Pac and Suge. It's just that whole situation is crazy. Again, Puff is basically put a hit out on Pac and Suge. That's crazy to me. And then Kirk, again, the dude that's the one that helped start Bad Boy, is talking about how a couple days before, Puff is having him rent out all these cars to go to the fight. I'm like, why are we renting out all these cars? Why are we renting out, like, what's going on? Why are we renting out all these cars to go to the fight? Like, what? Like, it don't make no sense. So now it's like, and I'm so pissed off, bro. So then he talk about March 1997. Biggie goes to LA. Even though Biggie does not want to go to LA, he making it known he doesn't want to go to LA. But Puff was like, no, you got to promote the album. The album's coming out. You got to go to LA. We got to do the award show, And so I was like, all right. So Biggie does this, what, I forget what show it was, some type of show in LA, some type of award show. This is March 7th. Biggie's supposed to go to London to help promote the album March 8th. So he's supposed to be in LAX to go on a plane to be in London. Kirk, again, the dude that's helped run in Bad Boy, he set all this up months prior. The Kirk dude is calling up Biggie like, where you at? And Biggie's like, yo, Diddy's on my helmet. He doesn't want me to go. He wants me to stay in LA. And so now Biggie, who's supposed to be in LAX, supposed to go to London, is now still in LA. Meanwhile, the people connected with the Crips are warning Puff and Biggie, yo, the block is hot. People are not happy. LA is like, it's on one right now. Y'all should not be here. Like the Crip dude let it be known, like, yo, the block is too high. Y'all should not be here. People don't play that, bro. They think you have something to do with Pac. Like, they already, like, feel away. Like, East Coast, West Coast is at an all-time high. Like, bro. But Puff don't want to hear that. He want to party. And so now Biggie stays. He parties with Puff. March 9th. What's crazy to me is there's a videotape of Puff and Biggie pulling off. Right? Never before seen. Now, I think in my brain, I actually saw that tape before. People want to act like, oh, that's the first time I've ever seen. Like, I'm almost positive I saw that tape before. But I don't know where they got it. I don't know how they held it all that time. And 50 got it. I don't know how 50 got it, but Biggie pulls off. Puff pulls off. Boom, 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 boom. Biggie gets shot. Biggie gets shot and killed. Then after that, Biggie has his funeral. Puff is like, yo, I'm about to throw the biggest funeral of all time. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the background, Puff is throwing this big, elaborate funeral, but making Biggie actually pay for it so they can recoup it. I'm like, yo, Puff might be the most evil person in the world, bro. What? he actually made Biggie pay for his own funeral, dog. And nobody knew it. Meanwhile, before that, Biggie re-signed with Bad Boy and restructured his contract. Puff tried to, after Biggie signed and got what he wanted in the contract, Puff tried to go behind Biggie and actually change the terms of the contract without Biggie knowing. And Kirk, and the Kirk dude was like, we can't do that. That ain't right. Kirk gets fired 3 months later. It's like, yo, there's just, I don't know if Puff had anything to do with Biggie getting shot. It doesn't make sense to me. But at the same time, they talk about the Rolling Stones cover. Rolling Stones was going to give Biggie a cover, I think that summer in 97. Puff calls whoever he got to call and be like, no, we're not doing that. Right? He tells Kirk, yo, get Biggie off that cover. I got to be on that cover. I got an album coming out in July. Boom. Puff took Biggie's cover, his dead man's cover, so he could be on the cover, so he could promote his album that's coming out, No Way Out. Then a couple months later, does the I'll Be Missing You infamous performance with Sting. Like, and Puff is acting like, since Biggie's death, he's acting like he acting like Biggie's best friend, and they're just brothers, and they're the bestest of friends. That's how he portrayed it. And it's just like, bro, this is crazy. Like, the fact that he did Biggie like that. Faith don't even want to do the performance. She's gone through it. Just lost her husband and all this. Like, bro. The only shining light is that Puff didn't righteously clear that sample for I'll Be Missing You. So now every day he has to pay Sting for the I'll Be Missing You song. Like, every day. I forget the terms of it, but it's hilarious. But yeah, just like, bro. Then again, he talked about that, the song I played in the beginning, the Muscle Game song with Black Rob. And how Puff in 99 was like, yo, we gonna put $1 million on your head. We gonna get you out the game, da-da-da-da. And Mark Curry, who was part of like Bad Boys, like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, what? It's like, yo. That was episode 2, bro. So, and they talked about how Puff was blocking people from trying to help solve Biggie's murder, because if you solve Biggie's murder, you probably connected to Tupac, which Tupac's murder is connected to Puff. So now he's preventing Biggie's murder from getting solved. If you already know that allegedly he's involved in Pac's murder, it's just like, bro, so you mean to tell me this motherfucker low-key is responsible for both Biggie and Pac getting killed? Because even if he had nothing to do with Biggie getting killed, Biggie wasn't supposed to be there. And he knew that. But because of his ego, his pride, because he wants to feel like he's the biggest boss and king and all that, he made Biggie stay there. It was like, hot damn. And I still feel like, personally, I feel like he did set up Pac in Quad Studio. Biggie didn't know that. But I really feel like Puff did set that up. And then he helped set up Pac getting killed in Vegas after the Mike Tyson fight. He set all that up. It's like, damn. It's just crazy, bro. Like, the fact that Puff was able to survive this long, and even though he's only going to go to jail for like a couple years, it's like, man, I wish it was a way we could, man. It's like, damn, bro. Again, this is only episode 2, so we got 2 more episodes to go. But yo, I'm so pissed, bro. It's like, damn, bro. Like, this dude really ruined, like, not only ruined hip hop, but ruined people's lives, bro. And like, this dude was really trying to be this big gangster, dog. Like, you're not even from that. Like, you're not even nothing like that. But as soon as he got some fame and some money, he wanted to play his pops. His pops, who was allegedly this big kingpin and street hustler. He wanted to play that role. Crazy, bro. Like, I can't get over that. But yeah. Episode 2, what goes up must come down. Like, comment, subscribe, share all the things are the things. Ain't gotta go home, dude. I get to step in. Peace.
Did you tell me this was over? There ain't no use talking it over. tell me sooner? Didn't you tell me it was over?